Hello, welcome back or welcome to my channel. I hope you're doing well today. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium and a spirit navigator. Don't ask me what that means. That's just what my spirit guides told me I am. Well, they've told me a lot of things. Some of them I really can't tell you online. Anyway, let's just say that I'm spicy, they're spicy. So, thanks so much for tuning in. Today is going to be a video that's part of my Wisdom on Wednesdays series. So, either today is Wednesday or don't get freaked out. You're watching this from some other day and it's not Wednesday, but I do publish them on Wednesday if that helps. Listen, my goal here is to help you understand your human life. Why am I here? What am I doing? How do I do it better? Um, what's the purpose? All those questions that we have. I'm not a guru, but I do have some gurus on the phone right now via channel. So I channel some spirit guides, uh, 60% them, typically 40% Susan. Today we're going to talk about why planet Earth is an expert planet. And I know you guys are thinking, this place, like I often say, the human part of me says, Earth, adventure, land, 2 stars, would not recommend. But I think that's because we don't understand why we're here, which is why I'm doing this video series. There's over 80 videos in my Wisdom on Wednesdays, or the acronym of WOW. You can always go to my playlist, which you can click the swirly logo. It'll take you to my main YouTube page. Look for playlist, click that. You'll see a lot of playlists. Click the WOW playlist. Over 80 videos on all these types of spiritual vibration enhancing, learning, teaching you kind of mini classes, all for you to learn about very different topics, from incarnation to crop circles, Sasquatch, to what it happens to your soul when you cross over, why do you come into your body, soul contracts, multiple lives, meaning multiple continuous lives all at the same time. Listen, you guys, it's a variable encyclopedia of spiritual topics for you for free. Please check it out. Today, we're going to talk about Earth being an expert planet. Now, I'll tell you guys, I'm channeling this. There's no notes, there's no nothing here except for me and some spirit guides and you. And I'll say that how this, or how all my topics originate, is usually my own life. I don't, I just have to tell you what I know, right? And typically, when I'm doing something very simple like walking my dog, is when I get most of my guidance. That's a tip right there. If you're a commuter on a bus, a plane, a train, a car, you have a lot of time to sort of think. Try not to stuff your brain with things. If you're just hanging out at your house, try not to overstuff your brain. You really need open space for your guides to give you guidance. Sometimes that guidance appears like your own thoughts, and that's confusing, but it really is guidance. So, my spirit guides, and I think this was really activated is the word they want to use, but I think there's another word that I would use. But anyway, by this thought that there are people like really rich celebrities or really powerful politicians, whoever they are, whatever they are, sometimes they're cretins. Sometimes they're not good people. Sometimes they really are bad people. And I was just sort of talking to my spirit guides about this, like, what gives? Like, if you think about it, if you think that you had all the money in the world, would you just turn into a bad person? I mean, I think there's some temptation there, right? Because if you have people telling you, yes, whatever you want, yes, there are certain things that society holds us in check. And we think, well, I don't want to be weird, so I'm not going to do that, or I don't want people to think I'm weird, so I'm not going to do that. So we kind of keep maybe some things that we would try out. We don't do that because we don't want to be weird or whatever. Or most of us, a lot of us, don't want to break any laws. But when you have that kind of money, it's almost like it doesn't matter. You're not going to get charged. You're above everything and everybody. You can buy a judge. You can buy a country. I mean, you can buy whatever you want. So that leads me to what my spirit guides told me, which is this is an expert planet. You guys can do anything you want. You have no rules. Well, there is a rule and it's called don't blow your planet up. And that is very much a rule. I've talked about this before. Let's just call them powers that be, meaning not human, will not let us blow this planet up because it jacks up all the other planets. We've talked about this, right? Like the Earth has a vibrational kind of wobble. It has a vibration to it. And when our vibration gets so far out of tolerance, that sends out an alert, to the galaxy to the galaxy police who come in and they're like, what are y'all doing? Stop partying so hard. Get your room straightened up. You go study. You're not learning your soul path. We're going to take to, vibrational jail. You know what I mean? They come in to help us. But it's really only in dire straits, like you're getting ready to nuke somebody, okay? Or you're wrecking your planet so bad that there's no returns, right? Like you're not going to be able to get any money back on your return. They're not going to get any money back. They put the deposit down for us. They co-signed humans' loan for this planet, and they're like, no, you're not going to ruin this. I still need to get my money out of this, right? So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to help you. But other than that, those are extreme. Believe me when I say those are extreme circumstances. Other than that, if you want to be a megalomaniac, you can be one. If you want to be the most kindest, gentlest person, you can be one. You can be anything in between. Now, let me explain it another way, which is I've talked about this before too. Again, all these videos in the WOW playlist, but they explained it to me a little bit differently today, and I think it's going to be even more helpful. And that is, imagine if you were a new driver and your gas pedal only went to 25 miles an hour. Well, you're just going in the neighborhood. You're not going to get on the freeway with that bad boy, so you're limited. There are planets or existences, because they wanted to also correct me and say, Susan, not everything's a planet, honey. Just because you live on a planet, they didn't say it like that, but this is me. I'm editorializing. They said there are existences, right? Like that are not planets, that are just existences, like a ball of light or a ball of gas, and you can do that with what you want. So there are other existences and planets where there's guardrails, where the inhabitants of that existence, and then maybe they look human, maybe they don't, maybe they all look like giraffes, we don't know, and there's no judgment. That's the point that they want to make here. There's no judgment. Everybody is what you are. So, but in this, whatever this other existence is, there may be limitations that are in place. So as a soul, let's go with that, because that's a whole nother video. But let's go with soul. As a soul, if you're incarnating on this existence of this planet, you're limited. You're not going to be able to do the things that you can do here. Here, there are no limitations, except for those two that we told you about, right? So if you want to be a mass murderer, you can. If you want to be Mother Teresa and something else, you can do that too. So you know what they said to me? And this blew my mind, and I hope it blows your mind too. They said, now, given that context, that however many people you have on this planet, let's just use a billion because I don't know. Let's just say a billion people can all be mass murderers. They can all be thieves. They can all be terrible souls. And yet they're not. They want to say like 0.001% of souls are that kind of really horrible. So when you think about it in this context, and you think another way to really understand my fellow humans is, yeah, maybe I disagree with that person. Maybe that person doesn't like me. Maybe I don't like that person. but we're not mass murderers. We're disagreeing. When you think about it like that, to me, Earth is magic. This is a magic place that if you think that any one or all of us, especially in the United States of America, where weapons are, you know, easily attained, if you think about it like that, and you think about yet, this is another thing they told me one time. They said, Susan, when you get upset about humanity, I want you to think about a stop sign because we all stop. Think about a blinking light that's out. We all stop. Think about, a school bus. We stop. Uh, why are we all honoring traffic is a really good way of understanding how we honor each other. Sure, people run stop signs. Sure, people have road rage. But I challenge you, if you are a person who drives a vehicle, to think about how many times you pass a car that's driving on the right side of the street, right? Think about how well we do together, how well humans actually do together. It's actually mind blowing when you think about it like that. We are not a planet that limits our free will. Sure, organized religion said, especially, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years ago, these people are crazy. We need to do something to teach them not to covet their, neighbor's wife or whatever the 10 commandments are. Do not steal, do not murder, right? We do need some laws here because these people are really out of control. So our society puts societal controls, societal norms, and then we started passing laws, right? So we do have laws that keep people in place for the most part. But, I mean, honestly, if we took all the laws out and you could drive on the wrong side of the road or whatever, how many people would actually do that? Because I don't think it would be everybody. I don't think it would be 5%. There would be one idiot that did it one time, probably end up in the hospital, and never do it again. So I think it's interesting, right? So that's why we are an expert planet, because you can come here and if you want to, you can do dastardly things to your heart's content, to your black heart's content. But in reality, if you take the whole of humanity or the whole number of your country or even your city, your town, province, whatever it is, it's still a small amount of people in aggregate. So I'm just telling you that we're not doing that bad. Now, I will also say that our vibration is off, and I've talked about this before, and I do think that with climate change and some other things, and just disrespect of human life, and that's what they're showing me. That's not so much right. It's not so much human. How do I describe this? I'll just cut to the chase. It's corporate greed, right? It's money that's disrespecting human life, not getting clean water, not getting um, clear, clean, nutritious food, not getting health care. Those things are actually impacting humans in a negative way more than our free will. Isn't that, do you guys find that fascinating? Because I find this fascinating to think that there's one CEO who's making a bad decision that's affecting millions of us because we're eating this tainted food or we're drinking this tainted water or polluted air or terrible healthcare, whatever it is. Yet on the other side of that, there's millions of people who are driving on the right side of the road, stopping at the stop sign, stopping at the red lights, not grabbing everybody's stuff and running off with it. I mean, I think we've been sold a bill of goods about humans and about how bad we are and how fearful we should be of each other. And I think a really good way to get over this fear is simply just drive on a freeway where, you look over your shoulder. I mean, of course, you don't want to get into a wreck. Again, part of this is personal responsibility. I don't want to get into a wreck, so I'm not going to drive crazy. But how does that work in, say, a criminal way? What's to keep me from stealing your stuff? I don't want to. I'm not a thief. In my energy, I'm not a thief, right? So I think it's important to understand that this is an expert planet. You have free will here. There are no limits. This is a no limits 24/7 adventure park where you can dial up whatever you want to learn. And the other thing they said to me this morning was that, be, see if I can put this in the right words they told me this morning. Basically, because this is a no holds barred, no limits planet, this is why many times humans come to Earth and they want to continue coming back to Earth because it is like, they also wanted to talk about it like a video game. So if you get all the prizes, it's boring. Why continue playing that game? But once you cross over, you look at your life and you're like, yeah, I can do better. Yeah, I know that next time my soul is going to remember, even if it's just this little hint of a memory. I know I can do better. I know my soul learned some lessons and I'm going to build on those lessons in this next life. I want to continue this process. And so, and they also are saying, and apparently it's true for them, they're saying human lives are very short. I mean, for them, 80, 100 years, whatever it is, that's short. And you can do them really quickly. Like you can get a lot of lives in a big fat hurry. It's like speed dating, human speed dating soul contracts, right? Like, so it's really a quick process. So this is sort of why you sort of see humans coming back and back and back and back. They're really growing. It's really becoming more and more of an expert soul. And I've talked about this before, right? Like how your soul, if you think of your soul like the size of something, if you think of it like the size of a softball, and then when you're crossed over, it might be the size of a bowling ball, because all of your experiences are adding or enriching your soul, is what they're saying. All the experiences that you've had have enriched your soul, have made you a bigger soul. And I also said this before. I mean, I'm just kind of, this is what they're telling me, and I'm repeating it, but I think these are all little nuggets in 10 different videos and they're all coming together in this video, which I also find fascinating, which is that when you cross over and you leave this physical body behind, of course, your soul never dies. So it continues on to another challenge, another whatever it want, another existence. But what I found interesting was when humans, specifically, and this isn't a judgment thing, again, I'm not saying we're better than anybody else. I'm just saying this is our process and this makes us different. When our soul crosses over, because it has grown, you can't just go into any other existence, because vibrationally you wouldn't be able to go from a soul experience in which your soul was this big, big as a bowling ball, let's just say, into a soul experience where that soul experience is as big as a ping pong ball. Not going to work. You grew out of those pants. You're not going back in them. It's not, you're going to put one leg in, the whole pants are going to be full, right? So then you naturally are going to go to a different experience that is expansive in a new way. This is interesting. They've never told me this. So I think this is so fascinating. I hope you think it's fascinating too. So after you've done some time on planet Earth, I mean, that's kind of how I feel about it. But anyway, after you've done some cycles of rotation is how they would describe it. Susan would describe it time, like you've been in prison Earth. But anyway, cycles of rotation. After you've done some cycles of rotation, if you wish to graduate just the words they're using, from planet Earth, and there's no test. It's just, I think it's free will. Another existence that you might fit into with your new soul prowess is an existence where it's all about starting over again and learning to communicate through a color, or learning to communicate just completely 100% all the time through um, telepathy, or perhaps even learning how to live. I'm using live because I'm a human, but I don't know how to exist in a water environment, beneath the water, or how to exist in a very thin air environment. So there's more challenges, but they can be different challenges than this. This is a very specific, unique planet. And I've said this many times that there's a queue, there's a line waiting to get into this planet of new souls that have never been here. I mean, every time I look at it with my third eye, it's, I don't know, blocks long, but how do you convert that to galaxies long? I don't know. Um, so it's a long line of souls who are ready to come here, who want to come here, who have attained the ability to come here. Again, not every soul would be a good match here because yes, we have our dastardly villains, but honestly, the majority of us are just nice. We're reasonable. Within some limits, we're reasonable, right? Maybe you don't agree with them, but they're not running around, doing dastardly things. They simply don't believe that what you believe, which is normal. It's fine, right? So I think that's very fascinating. And I think it's fascinating that once we leave here, now there are also, right. So there are also some other existences that human soul, or how do I say it? Souls that have, so okay, they just showed me Boy Scout and Girl Scout, and they get the patches. You know what I mean? Like they got the. I don't even know. Look, y'all. I tried to be a brownie. I got kicked out of the brownies. Okay, I'm just telling you right now. If I wasn't channeling this, I would not be someone you would want to listen to. Okay, but anyway, so they different patches, right? So like, okay, so I don't know where they were going with this. So you got the Earth patch, okay? Again, expert level. Having the Earth in it. Okay, so if I'm gonna switch from a human metaphor to their description, it would be having human vibration in your vibration. So think about it like this. Um, your ability to see someone in this other existence means that you see their colors, or you see their vibration, or maybe you see ones and zeros, digital. I don't know, whatever it is, whatever experience you've chosen to participate in, you can recognize in that entity that you're meeting soul, earth soul level experience, earth soul experience, part of our vibration, whether that shows up as a color, a number, like a physical vibration, like boom 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 boom. I mean, it depends on the existence you're choosing. Perhaps you're in an existence where everything comes to you in a physical boom, 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 like on your body, you know, perhaps, or on your energetic body, right? It hits your energetic body and bounces off, and then you hit their energetic body and it bounces off. That would be one way of communicating. Another way is colors. Um, they're just told me about a colony, or an existence that communicates via feelings. This is super fascinating because feelings can kill you, they said. Like feelings can cause you energetic pain. Therefore, to go to the existence where they communicate with feelings. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let me explain it better. Not like me telling you I feel sad, or me telling you I feel happy. Imagine if you met me And all of a sudden, your body was overtaken with my feeling of elation. And you just started cackling, and, there was no guardrails. You experienced everything that I experienced. That is way over our pay grade, because you have to be able to synthesize with no blocks, with no barriers, synthesize those feelings are going to come right into your body. And you need to, do you understand when I say synthesize? Digest. You need to digest them. You can't just let it take over you and all of a sudden you're a crying mess. And I think it's interesting that they're saying this is a very highly evolved race of people that communicate with feelings, because they're able to internalize feelings without having it be uh, detrimental. Now, when I said that, because I'm translating what they're saying into human. And when I said that, they wanted to say, well, there's a caveat. They showed me that in reality, yes, this even on this place, because it is 100% free will like us, and it is a higher risk, meaning so it's even higher vibration, that people still do. I'm calling them people, but you understand I'm a human. And I don't know what else to call these things. These beings still can be disrupted from this feelings. So it's still possible to get sick or to be harmed because you weren't able to digest the feelings. It's almost like somebody meets another person and they're not well matched. So this person's energy is greater, and it can hurt or harm this person. And it's not done out of malice. It's simply done out of a mismatching. I would say to you, another existence that I saw that had a little bit more guardrails on it, how that worked was colors. So this person walks up or glides up or floats up, or I don't know what these people do, and another being is coming towards you. Because what the guardrails do is it allows you to know if this person has your highest best good in their energy. And if it doesn't, you can stop them. So basically, it's a tip off. This person's a liar. This person is not to be trusted. This person wants to dupe me. So it's like training wheels. They're helping you go, oh, I don't want to trust you. If you're compatible, or the other thing is we're just not compatible. My energy is not compatible with your energy. And what happens is you're repelled. Like you come together, but you're actually repelled from each other. Again, that's there to protect you. It's there to help you experience it without dire circumstances. So it's interesting to me that here's Earth as the expert planet, and that here's this other existence where you communicate in feelings and there's no guardrails. If you get access to this planet, you just got to be able to do it, or you're going to be over there in the emotional infirmary getting treated. And again, why would you? Maybe you're asking, Susan, why? Like, I don't want to do that. Why would I do that? Because it's about growing up. It's about expanding your abilities. It's about becoming more and more and more expert. So you're going to say, I can do this, right? Like, I was an empath on Earth for 50 lifetimes. Let me at them, right? Like, I had my feelings hurt 99 ways to Sunday, and I can do this, right? That would be the kind of new soul to that experience that would not be ready, because we still have blocks. We still have guardrails here to protect us. um we can retreat. We can bring our shield up. This existence, there's no shields. There's nothing. You're emotionally naked. And if you wanted to do that, there's nobody's making you do any of these things. We cross over and we start thinking we can do these things, right? So if you choose that existence, you're going to just expand your soul in such a beautiful way. I can't describe what I'm seeing or feeling, but it's almost like ecstasy. It's um it's beautiful. Okay. So hopefully that helps you understand some things. And I'm no guru. I could be wrong about this stuff, right? I'm translating what I'm getting. I'm just sharing it with you. And really, as an opportunity to have a conversation. There is no right, wrong. This is the way it is. That's the way it is. If you really get stuck in black and white thinking, you're not growing. You cannot grow if you think everything is good, bad, up, down. And believe me, I was one of those people. I don't like gray. I don't like paradoxes. Don't like them. This is true, but that's also true. Well, how is that possible? You know what I mean? Like either, this or that. So that's also part of the growth. And it's certainly part of the growth here on planet Earth because the spirit guides talk a lot about Shakespeare or Greek tragedies or mythology, where this person, and really modern day movies and books. How many times do you watch a movie or read a book and you think, God, I love this character. I mean, they're a little dark, but they're really good. And I really think they're good. They're on the good side. They're of the light. And then they do something else that's a little bit more dastardly, and you're like, no, they're good. They're good. And then they do something that's just like, you just want to be like, no, not my favorite character. They're an asshole. You know what I mean? They're terrible. I can't believe this, right? And then they turn around and do something good. Complicated. Humans are complicated. We're not all bad. We're not all good. You know, on the balance, we're reasonable. On the balance, we're reasonable. I think this is such an important message, right? So yeah, that's it. Wisdom on Wednesdays. If you like this content, please subscribe. Check out my other Wisdom on Wednesday videos. I'll leave a place where you can click and go right to the playlist right now. And you can just check out some of the other titles. Again, over 80 videos. It's like your own spiritual free library. Just check it out. So something else I'd like to mention to you is my online community. I have a growing online community, over 400 plus people, and we talk spirituality. We talk a little bit of politics, but we also talk a lot of spirituality. People chat with each other all day long, all night long, and I'm on there too about 4 hours a month doing readings. I have Soul Growth Sunday that I do with my members. It's really a pretty cool place. It's $12 a month. You can join and cancel anytime you want to. I will leave that in description, but you can find it at my website, which is SusanLynnMedium.com. SusanLynnMedium.com. And besides that, you guys, I'm doing events. I'm so happy. I have 150 people coming to hang out with me and 4 other psychics in Denver, Colorado next month. And next year, I'm going to be doing more events. So if you're interested in what I'm up to, you might go to my website and fill out the newsletter. Believe me when I say that I'm not going to spam you, because I really don't write newsletters very often, only when I have something to say. So, but either the membership or the newsletter is the best way to keep track of my events, my in-person events, my classes, whatever I'm about to do. That's where I announce it first. When I announced this event, half of the tickets went immediately to my members. I gave my members 2 whole days before I announced it to my email list. And I've only mentioned this event before it was sold out. I only mentioned it on YouTube one time. So YouTube, I love you. I love you. I love you. But if you really want to know what's going on with me, it's best to be a member, or it's best to join my email newsletter. Okay. Take really, really good care of yourself. Let me know what you think down in the comments about this whole expert planet thing. I'm channeling. I don't know what I just said. You guys always bring the best questions and comments. I really enjoy that. And I would say to you, if you do go check out the Wisdom on Wednesday videos, check out the comments. The comments are where it's at. You will see hundreds of people say, I had a similar experience. I experienced this. I experienced that. You know what that does? That helps you understand that you're not alone. We're all in this together. We're all in this community together. So read the comments. You'll know, really, you'll find people that have had similar experiences to you. It makes you feel like, okay, I'm not weird. I'm not out there. Actually, I just haven't found my people yet. Here are your people. We are your people. All right. Take really good care. I'll see you again next Wednesday.